Hey, True Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It is March 16th. We have successfully passed March 15th, 2015 without any too large of incidents. I suspected something big might happen yesterday, but it falling on the weekend might have prevented it from being the day I thought it was. Still, some notable things happened yesterday, so I would like to talk about those. So, again, yesterday was March 15th, 2015. This is a special day because March 15th is the 74th day of the year, except in leap years. So next year it'll be the 75th day of the year. And also yesterday it had a numerology of 33. 3 plus 15 plus 15 equals 33. So often in Gematria we find these numbers paired. Jesus was said to have been crucified at the age of 33 on the cross. Both the words Jesus and cross sum to 74. Only one state has a gematria of 74. That is Oregon, the 33rd state, abbreviated OR, which has a gematria of 33, like its statehood order status. Also yesterday, with the reduced method in numerology for the date, it had a numerology of 17. Also interesting. Out of the 50 states, the 33rd state has a gematria of 74. That's Oregon. The 17th state, Ohio, has a gematria of 47. 4774. Very important numbers. We talk about them a lot. In my first video post, I said the three most important numbers were 47, 74, 33. Of course, there's other important numbers, but these three are huge, and they were all connected to yesterday's date. Once upon a time in history, in the year 44 BC, on March 15th, or the equivalent of this calendar, Caesar was assassinated. The word Caesar has a gematria of 47, just like president with Pythagorean gematria. And currently we have the 44th president, sort of like 44 BC. So yesterday, the anniversary of Julius Caesar's assassination, possibly the most famous political assassination in history. In this past year, one of the biggest national stories in the United States has been the Michael Brown shooting in Ferguson, Missouri. I've been covering that all this time, all of the numerology, all of the gematria, all of the related stories. Recently, we got another story, the shooting of two cops. Yesterday's big breaking news was that they arrested the person who shot the two officers. And if you can believe it, he has name gematria of 74. Again, yesterday, the day of the arrest, was the 74th day of the year. And they arrested a Jeffrey Williams. Two names we see so often in these coded hoaxes. Notice also that Jeffrey has the gematria of 39, another number of importance, number of books in the Old Testament. So Jeffrey Williams arrested, Mr. 74 on the 74th day, also a date with 33 numerology. Remember, the number 33 has been what's coded into every single headline of Michael Brown. And this arrest taking place on a date with 33 numerology, 3/15/15, fits right in. So this is really what I want you to take away from my blog, Truth Seeker. The predictions I make and I'm wrong on so often, that's not what's important. I do that to show you how these people are mapping out their events. Just because I know how they map out their events doesn't mean I'm going to pick all the dates right. But I am showing with very convincing evidence that these hoaxes are orchestrated by the numbers. And the names we get are orchestrated by the numbers. This is how the hoaxes are carried out against us. I have zero doubt. Speaking of hoaxes and 33, we talked a lot about Ebola much of the last year, my written blog and video blog. Yesterday, we got more Ebola headlines. 11 Americans returning from Sierra Leone for Ebola concerns. Notice the number 11, first of all. They like their multiples of 11. The numerology of 74 is 7 plus 4 equals 11. And this story is also coming on the 74th day. Sierra Leone has the gematria of 67. Why is that interesting? Ebola was discovered in the year 76. The first patient to contract Ebola was named Nina Pham. Both names with 38 gematria, so Nina Pham together equals 76, like the year Ebola was discovered. Do you see how 67 is a reflection of 76? Again, Truth Seeker, everything is coded by the numbers, especially when it comes to scaring us with headlines such as Ebola or ISIS or some other terrorist threat. Over and over. Another one of the biggest stories yesterday was this fire breaking out at this major Russian landmark. It went up in flames. The numerology, the gematria here is curious. 142 is an important number in this study. If you write out the word 42 in summit, it sums to 142. If you write out the word 39 in summit, it sums to 142. If you write out the word terrorist in summit, it sums to 142. President Obama equals 142. This is a number of importance. I don't think this structure going up with this gematria on this very curious date is any sort of accident. Remember, these numbers 33 and 74, they're religious. They're tied to Christianity and all the other major religions of the world. And when you think about the original Bible, it was a 42-line Bible. Again, if you write out the word 42 and sum it, it sums to 142. And then the convent has a gematria of 93. Do what thou wilt. Do what thou wilt. Thelema. This is the number of Thelema. So often we find it coded in things. And as I was looking at this story, I knew for a fact it was another one of their stunts when I read this. A total of 29 emergency vehicles and 113 personnel has turned up to fight the blaze. RIA Novosti reported. What do you know, Truth Seeker? 113. Michael Brown was shot in front of the Cantfield Greens Apartments, which has a gematria of 113. Another number that they love to code into their stunts. And here it is again. And this fell on yesterday, the date with 33 numerology, the 74th day of the year. Massive fire at a major tourist attraction. Widely recognized symbol. And it comes at a time when the nation's president is supposedly missing. Those headlines changed today. Now he's back in the limelight. Over the weekend, we got all these rumors. Was he dead? Was he with his girlfriend who just fathered a child? What I want to point out is his girlfriend's name has the same simple English gematria as Putin. Perhaps it's a coincidence. It entirely could be. I found out my girlfriends in the past have had very similar name gematria to me. There's a website out there that says all relationships are lined up by our birth and name numbers. We don't even know it. The more I study this, the more I look at myself, the more I work with these numbers, I think there's a major element of truth to it. Perhaps even Vladimir Putin, his girlfriends are decided by the numbers. Or perhaps not. Perhaps this is also part of the hoax, because this is the way these people work too. That's where it gets interesting. But I mean, just look at this imagery they give us over the weekend. I mean, who's to take this stuff seriously? In the article, they show him, bareback on a horse, shirtless, I'm still waiting for the day where we get a picture of a U.S. president on a horse shirtless. I'm sure that image is out there somewhere. I would love to see it. So anyway, Putin hoaxes by the numbers. One of his top spokesmen in his department said he'd be stepping down and being replaced soon. His name was Illarionov Andrei Illarionov. This is a name with curious gematria. 31, like the foundational degree. 55, a number that we talk about a lot. Put it together, sums to 86, like triangle and pyramid. So we'll see what happens with Putin. A lot of curiosities going on over there in Russia. The whole Ukraine-Crimea hoax, organized by the numbers, just did a post on that. Also, we got this headline this morning saying Putin was ready for a nuclear alert over Crimea. And, Truth Seeker, to me this is all just more fear headlines, more confusion headlines. meant to make the average person go, what in the world is going on? Do I have something to be worried about? Also yesterday, another one of the big stories was the arrest of Robert Durst, this real estate tycoon. In 1982, notice that's 33 years ago, 82 to 2015, he supposedly got off with the potential murder of a woman close to him in his life, and now all that's being brought to light. But what I noticed right away is, his name's Robert, name with 33 gematria, Durst 19. Did the gematria check. And that paid dividends because this morning there's new headlines about this guy. Did he admit to killings? And then right here, real estate hire caught saying he killed them all. And for those of you who follow this blog, you've heard me say this many times before, when the mainstream media, not just CNN, hyphenates words, they want you to pay special attention to those words, and they want you to do the gematria of those words. Back when I didn't know the gematria of many words, I learned a lot of 33, 42, 47 words just by decoding what CNN had hyphenated. Anyway, as I said a second ago, the name Robert Durst equals 52. So does killed them all. Killed them all sums to 52. Again, after the Super Bowl this year, I said let's pay attention to the number 52 going forward. It seems to be of much importance. And we've seen it in quite a few stories since. The next major sporting event that will get a lot of American attention post-Super Bowl will be the boxing fight between Pacquiao and Mayweather. That's all decked out with this same numerology. That's on May 2nd, 5-2, coming 52 days after March 11th, the date of their hype meeting. Remember that number when the fight comes up, too. And just remember this number going forward, because we're going to see a lot more of it this year. This much I know. And somehow it even seems to factor into this man's killings. Perhaps this is how it works behind the scenes. He got cleared of murder 33 years ago. His 33 years is up. Now it's time to pay due. You know what I mean? I think that's what's going on here with these elites behind the scenes. I don't know how this guy slept for the last 33 years if he truly is guilty of murder. Again, I shouldn't make too big and bold of predictions about this because I don't know a lot about it. I'm just throwing out some suspicions about how I think things work and why this is happening on a cycle of 33 years and also happening on the day it's happening at. This was yesterday's news. Yesterday was the day of the martyr, so now it sounds like this guy's going to martyr for what he did. Or perhaps he's being falsely accused. Who knows? Maybe he's being set up. But something's up, Truth Seeker. Even this story right here is by the numbers. With regards to 82, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, one of the Supreme Court justices, turned 82 yesterday. Would you believe what her birthday is? March 15th, 1933. Born on the 74th day in the year 33. Every single Supreme Court justice we have, Truth Seeker, is decked out with this occult numerology, gematria. The name Ruth Bader Ginsburg sums to 86. We just talked about with the Russian leader. Another number of importance, the word triangle, the word pyramid, the word republic, all have gematria of 86. If my boy Josh Stoss is watching, he would want me to tell you that the number 19 also sums to 86. Number 19 is also of importance. But, here we go. Ruth Bader Ginsburg turned 82. It's been a fateful number lately. In this article, they pretty much spelled her out as the most liberal Supreme Court justice ever, which is her reputation. And we'll see. We'll see if anything happens with Ruth Bader in the future. But they definitely had big headlines for her birthday yesterday. And in the time I've been studying the headlines, I think this is the first time I've seen attention called to a Supreme Court justice's birthday. So maybe there's a reason they made a big deal about her birthday yesterday. We will see. Also yesterday in the headlines, I found out that Attorney General Loretta Lynch still isn't sworn in. I wasn't even aware of this. It's now the longest any president has ever gone without an Attorney General. Barack Obama has set a new record. Longest time without an Attorney General. And the Republican leadership is threatening to delay unless Democrats cave on some political things. And to me, this kind of stuff just goes, what kind of legal system do we have? The president can't have an attorney unless the politicians work out some agreement on something else? I mean, we're so long overdue for Revolution, Truth Seeker. It's just sickening. But this headline right here, holding out, has the gematria of 53, a number that connects to the president right now. He's 53 years old, as well as Loretta Lynch. So, again, let's keep our eyes open. I think these headlines dropped yesterday for a reason. I'm sure we will hear a lot more about them in the coming future. What else did we have? We had a Malaysian plane crash. This time it was stunt jets for an entertainment show. This comes a little more than a year after the missing Malaysian plane. That plane disappeared in the Indian Ocean. Indian is a word with gematria of 33. This crash came in Langkawi, Malaysia. Langkawi has the gematria of 33. Remember recently we had a Taipei plane crash. Taipei's 33. So often, the side of these major stories, the sites, the dates, the names, it's just 33 over and over. And also Malaysia has the gematria of 27. So often we find 33 and 27 coded together. So I hope this is just another hoax and nobody died. I'd like to think that. But right now, my red flag is up with the crash coming at a 33 site and being a news story on this specific day, the date with 33 numerology, the 74th day of the year. Also, in the sports world, I've been following the Trailblazers a lot because they've had quite a few weird things happen, including a fan dying at one of their games that had all this weird name gematria, weird section. Yesterday, they earned their 44th win. The Blazers, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Los Angeles Clippers have all been in the league for 44 years now. With regards to the Clippers, they began as the Buffalo Braves, but they all joined in the 70-71 season. That's the year the NBA got a total of 17 teams, 1-7. The acronym NBA sums to 17. Remember, yesterday's date also had a numerology of 17. And look, the Blazers won 113-97. They won by 16 points. 16 is one of only two numbers with a gematria of 33. It was their 64th game, the number of Thelema, 44th win, and they got it win on the 74th day of the year, the date with 33 numerology. Again, Oregon, where Portland Trailblazers is from, Oregon's the 33rd state. The only that sums to 74. And I suspect the NBA Finals this year will be Blazers-Cavs. Perhaps another prediction that will be wrong. But still, I'm going to keep doing this until I have it figured out. And I'm not afraid to be wrong until then because I know I'm close. So let's watch the Trailblazers. I think this was another scripted win. And I think everything's lining up by the numbers. 44th win on a big date that has a lot to do with Oregon. They just changed their stadium to the Moda Center. Moda equals 33 with simple English gematria. Moda Center sums to 44 with Pythagorean gematria. Change it from the Rose Garden to the Moda Center. Also, Trailblazers equals 53. All numbers we've talked about in other posts. Lots of important numbers here with this team this year. It's part of the reason I think it's their year. And some of the more depressing noise, Mike Porcaro of Toto died supposedly of Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS, at the age of 59 yesterday, March 15th. He supposedly died just barely into March 15th at 12:04 a.m. He was born May 29th. This is the 149th day of the year 55. The name Michael Porcaro has a gematria of 74. He went by Mike Porcaro, 61, but his full name, Michael Porcaro, 74. He died on the 74th day of the year, date with 33 numerology. Why is this creeping me out? It's because of this ALS Lou Gehrig's thing. Remember, we had the Ice Bucket Challenge last year. This was the story of the year. Ice Bucket Challenge with Pythagorean gematria sums to 74. And why is that so creepy? Because once upon a time, on July 4th, 7/4/1939, a date with 33 numerology, Lou Gehrig went before the nation. He talked about this new disease that nobody had ever heard about before, and in time, he died from this disease. And in hindsight, I think this is all part of a long, ongoing hoax. All part of a manipulation. And I think over time, they've been killing people by the numbers. Mike Porcaro is not the first death I've seen in this last year since this Ice Bucket Challenge. Every other death I've documented has had curious numerology as well. So, again, 74 has become a very important number to ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, and here we're seeing another celebrity death dying by the numbers that has to do with this disease. I know a lot of people would say this is all just a coincidence, but I say think harder, because I truly believe not. I think this is another sacrifice, another lie, another dishonesty, another manipulation. And again, all by the dates, all by the numbers. So that's pretty much the extent of it. This is my video post from earlier this year. I posted it August 17th. I was saying keep your eyes open for March 15th and the days surrounding it. A week from yesterday will be March 22nd. Friday will be 3/20. Honestly, Truth Saker, I'd say keep your eyes open all this week and through April. I think if we get through April and nothing major has happened, I think our big date will be around September when the fourth blood moon occurs. That's September 28th, 2015, a date with 52 numerology. We're trying to figure out how they got this mapped out. That'll be when the election season really kicks in. And political change will be in the air. So we'll keep our eyes open. We'll keep plugging away at this. And we'll see what we uncover. I hope in this post you learned a new thing or two. And as always, I appreciate you guys tuning in, sharing, and subscribing. So until next time, take care.